We are going to switch the sequence of events a little bit this morning because we need to get one of the instruments on this stage, next to which I am standing perilously close, on a plane by 1 o'clock. So having Ofra as the last item on the agenda just wasn't going to work. So instead, we're going to start with Ofra Harnoy. Yes. I just got to find my notes because I found an interesting fact that I thought you'd be interested in. The Holy Grail of violins, we all know, is the Stradivarius, fashioned by the Italian master Antonio Stradivarius, who died in 1737. Well, it turns out there was a whole gang of them, and sort of further on down the road, the head of the Venetian school was a fellow called Goffriller. Am I pronouncing that correctly? He's the grandfather of another approach to making these fiddles, and he made one of these in 1711. And it's apparently worth $2.7 million, which is why I'm walking so gingerly around them. And Ofra had this fantastic idea of comparing that violin with a modern instrument to give us a sense of the difference. I've often thought that the cello is just the sexiest of musical instruments, and I've often wondered how it is that the women who play them are. Anyways, I digress. It's not her fault that she's so beautiful. She's enormously talented, produced 40 CDs, including one of Beatles tunes. She started performing as a soloist with orchestra at the age of 10. She's played for kings and presidents and prime ministers. She's given hundreds of concerts for television. She's found a moment to come and be with us, Ofra Harnoy.
Should I try to sit on the cozy chair? I wanted to bring a symphony orchestra here so you could hear me perform with a symphony orchestra, but they don't get up that early. And also, I don't quite think they would fit. But so I brought a little video excerpt of a symphony orchestra with myself as the soloist. So if you'd like to watch, and I'll try to sit on this. I've heard wonderful things about this chair. Okay, well, I've brought with me today 2 instruments that I would like to demonstrate for you. I need my husband here. He's usually a lawyer and a real estate developer, but today's a cello switcher. I have my notes mixed up here. Word page 1.
There it is.
Sorry, I'm used to talking through my instruments, not to... There we go. When I was asked to make a presentation at this conference, I spent a lot of time thinking about what to speak about. Should I perform or talk about something important to me? Well, I decided to do both. I'm often asked, who made the instrument I'm playing? People want to know where it came from, how old it is, etc. Musicians are curious, often looking for a line on a great maker. Interviewers know there's often a good story behind some of the older instruments, and others are generally curious about instruments that are sometimes worth millions of dollars. Today I've brought instruments that I would like to demonstrate for you. One was made around 300 years ago in 1711 in Venice, Italy by Matteo Goffriller. And the other was made a few years ago in Germany and is a good example of present-day instrument making. People often ask me, can they tell the difference between these instruments? Is there something that only an expert ear can hear, or the general audience? Can they tell the difference? Well, today I will ask you that question. I will play a little on each instrument without telling you which is which, and let you decide if you can discern the difference and what that difference is. So let's see. One of them will be instrument A, and one will be instrument B. Okay, so here goes. I'll just play a little excerpt. Instrument A. Instrument B. A little bit of Brahms. Instrument A. Instrument B. And one last little excerpt, and then we'll take our vote. A little Bach. Instrument A. Okay. Everyone who enjoyed Instrument A, put up their hand. Ooh. Anyone who enjoyed Instrument B, put up your hand. Get out. Everyone who enjoyed Instrument A, you have superb taste. The Gofriller, which was Instrument A, has a much more refined sound. It's more noble, it has more complexity in its tone. It's kind of like painting with a full palette of colors, while the modern instrument is like painting with a palette of only one or two colors. The older instrument also produces a greater volume of sound, and a sound that is more penetrating. It'll reach to the back of a large concert hall, while a modern instrument will really only project to the first 10 rows. So in a situation like you saw when I play with a symphony orchestra, a soloist really needs an instrument that will project right to the back of the hall. It's unfortunate that more and more these days, great, extremely rare instruments like this cello are being bought up by museums, private collectors, and institutional buyers, never to see the inside of a concert hall again. These instruments are very rare. Very few remain after 300 years that are still in top playing condition. It's unfortunate that most artists can't afford to buy these instruments, and it's becoming more impossible day by day. Many have tripled in value over the past 10 years. This lovely Gofriller is valued at more than $2.7 million, and a modern cello can be had for $15,000 to $25,000. Not only are the musicians losing out, but as you can hear from this demonstration, except for the few people who've already left, audiences are losing out too. And that's where the Stradivari Society has come in, as have a few other organizations around the world. They match sponsors with deserving artists to ensure that these precious and irreplaceable great string instruments will be heard in the hands of great artists into the future. The Strad Society has helped artists like Joshua Bell, Midori, Gil Shaham, and Maxim Vengerov. And Yo-Yo Ma enjoys the use of his Stradivarius cello through the generosity of another foundation. We are fortunate to have with us today the gentleman who founded the Stradivari Society and who made this demonstration possible by bringing this cello from Chicago. His name is Jeffrey Fushi, and hopefully you'll have an opportunity to talk with him on one of the break sessions that follow. I don't know if Jeffrey's here. Oh, there's Jeffrey. And now, since I started the Bach suite, I'd like to finish it on the Gofriller cello, the movement from the Bach suite. So, yes, it's the right cello. Mm-hmm.